thunderstorm, the main idea is capable of wind damage. And that's what we want you to know if you're up in this area. And again, whenever there is a tornado warning, safest thing to be lowest level of your home in the interior portion of your home, away from the exterior, away from windows, doors, and away from the roof. And there you see 54 miles per hour. So again, even if we're talking about just one direction of the wind, like would be with a severe thunderstorm, those are strong winds. And with a strong thunderstorm, it is very possible that those strong winds do get translated down to the ground, and that's the kind that produces or can produce wind damage and cause tree damage. And of course, in the strongest of storms, it can cause some structural damage as well. But at least tree damage is possible with a cell like this. Again, it's moving eastward, and you can see the core of the strongest winds aloft getting very close to Deerfield at this time. This now we've switched over to what we call the reflectivity, or shows the intensity of the rain, and that's what we're seeing. So tornado warning until 6 o'clock. We will know in a couple of minutes whether that warning is going to get extended eastward as we go out in time. So we will certainly let you know. There is a severe thunderstorm warning, obviously, in effect as well. But if you look at the radar this way, and you can still see that the cell has certainly remained intact pretty strongly as it's been moving to the east. And certainly at Deerfield and the Route 202 area, there's the lightning. We're showing you that. So that doesn't look like it's really toned down at all. So that's one of the signs. You know, there are a couple of signs sometimes when these thunderstorms become tornadic. Rotation is, of course, the most significant. Also, we often see the lightning pulse up at the same time, and we also see hail, which becomes more significant. Those are some of the signs that a severe thunderstorm can be potentially turning tornadic. So Deerfield, this is along Route 107, and then you can see 202. So all along that path as the storm moves east, that's where the greatest action is going to be. And then Barrington, New Hampshire could be up next. Looks like Nottingham should be on the southern edge of this, so the strongest activity would be cutting through Deerfield right now. So you could see, as we've been telling you this and going through it, it's basically tracked roughly from Hooksett and Allenstown across to Deerfield in the course of the last 20 minutes. Now, this is pretty impressive. Wind field, again, we're seeing some strong winds right in here. So that's definitely capable of some damage, showing up as 51 miles per hour on the Doppler velocities. Again, this is several thousand feet above the ground. Sometimes all of it can get translated to the ground. Sometimes some of it does, but not enough to create the damage. But that does have the look where certainly the potential of damage is there. Cell still intact pretty strongly. Now it's cutting through Deerfield at this time and getting closer to Barrington. So routes 107 and 202 seem to be the main routes to be impacted. But this is also Route 152 that cuts in, and the northern part of that also to be impacted. So there's our cell, and there we have it as it continues to move east. Rochester, New Hampshire, we'll see how this stays intact, whether it does, and whether or not the warned area, if it gets extended eastward, could include Rochester. But again, we don't know that. But certainly the Doppler velocities still show impressive wind with this storm. So it has an impressive circulation. We look for that wind couplet with the strong winds in one direction and the strong winds in the other direction. But we're certainly seeing at least one direction. So we know that we have the strong winds with this particular cell, which we've been following all along, again, as it's been tracking from Hooksett across toward Deerfield with time. So the warning is in effect, and now we'll see, AJ, whether the tornado warning has been taken down.
I'm just seeing now that they are going to allow this to expire. So at 6 o'clock, this will. There you go. It's all gone now, and we're going to keep our eyes on things. But for right now, we're going to get our 6 o'clock news going with Ed and Emily right now.
Harvey, before we step away, there's serious weather we're watching, right? And we're going to keep our eyes on that, correct?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. They've just taken down the tornado warning, and we are tracking impact weather on News Center 5 at 6 tonight. Heavy downpours causing this street flooding in Haverhill, slowing down the evening commute.
And the storm's bringing plenty of lightning along with that rain. This video is from one of our crews in North Andover.
New at 6 tonight. Take a close look. These pictures are the First Parish Meeting House in Tingsboro, which was struck by lightning. The town is asking people to stay away from the building while they assess the damage and the safety of the structure itself.
And take a look at this viewer video. This is also from North Andover. Those ominous-looking clouds are over Lake Cochicowick, and the storm threat is not over.
We have live team coverage for you today. Let's begin with our John Atwater. He's in Methuen right now, John.
And Ed, we're on Kensington Avenue here. In the last half hour, we showed you those utility crews fixing the wires here. These guys are pretty quick. They got the wire back up there on the house, but you see all this damage here. These are some of the cables.